Hello, Taylor County. I'm Alex Reneman with Unleashed Tiger, and I want to introduce our 2024 primary election candidate interview series. First, I'd like to start with gratitude. A big thank you to Unleashed Tiger and our followers for submitting all the questions and offering feedback to help make this event what it is each election cycle. I want to thank Heather Hudson, Asher Smith, and Nick Mitchell, all who have done a ton of work in pre-production, production, post-production, and the scheduling and all that goes into it. It's not an easy thing to pull off. Thank you to the three of you. Also, Mount Leverage that helps, to afford us the time and opportunity to conduct these each cycle, and the candidates themselves. I mean, it is not an easy thing to put your hat out in the ring, and there's plenty of politicians we can point at with disdain or make fun of, and they many of them deserve it. But at the local level here, people are just throwing their hat in the ring, trying to do the right thing in most cases, and I applaud them for doing so, and so I thank you for running, for getting out there and trying to make a difference in our community. Whether, and I think many of us feel that way, whether we agree or disagree on certain issues, just thank you for putting yourself out there and trying to do the best you can. And also thank you for coming onto this program and offering yourself to the voters in this format. And ultimately, I want to thank you, the informed voter, for watching these if they're a benefit to you, but ultimately thinking through and bringing your informed voter self to the polls, as opposed to either A, not voting, or B, just going in and checking names because it's a name you recognize or whatever. Ultimately, let's talk about the format. If you've watched these interviews in the past, you know a few things about our format. We're nonpartisan. I don't have any agendas or issues. I don't, other than transparency and connecting the constituency to the candidates, and that's really it. We're super fair, so no one knew the questions beforehand. Every office receives the exact same questions. In fact, even there are times where a candidate might get ahead of me. They don't know the questions, but they might get out there and answer something earlier. I still stick to, and sometimes even dryly, we'll go back and ask the questions in a row. That way, it's exactly even for every candidate. You'll also notice I don't press a whole lot on the candidates. I'm not. This isn't about trying to catch someone into a soundbite or trying to be antagonistic. There's way too much of that in the news media right now. Anyway, I'm not here to see how I can stand out. I'm here to hopefully allow you to be a more informed voter and allow the candidate to express themselves in a way where you can understand more about their character and their leadership philosophies and their visions and for the community. Those are the things that I think are important to you, the informed voter. Ultimately, we contacted every local candidate who had an opposition in this primary. 32 of the 34 candidates, which also includes the levy representatives, had accepted, with only 2 declining. We'll be following up the general as well, so keep that in mind. Soapbox time for just a minute, and I don't want to get all preachy, but the leaders and representatives that we choose matter. And these local races are critical. I mean, look no further than just the last few years with the COVID pandemic to see how critical state and local officials were. Leadership, or lack thereof, was exposed and on just absolute clear display for anyone paying attention to be able to see. And this primary is huge. Nonpartisan elections like Board of Education, soil conservation, magistrates, and circuit judges will only be in the primary. And additionally, given that West Virginia just seems hell-bent on being a one-party state, regardless of which party we're in. I mean, years ago when I was younger, everybody was a Democrat. Now everybody's a Republican. So the primary is often where many of these races will be decided. Now, there are some that will go to the general and have opposition there, and we'll cover those races come November. But I guess, just asking, please be an informed voter and make choices based on leadership, character, and well-thought-out reasoning. And I get it. Some of y'all have a wedge issue that's really important to you. That's your call. Some of you are so enamored with your particular team or party affiliation that you're only going to vote for that. Okay. Some of y'all have just seen a person socially or locally and you like them. Okay. All I'm saying is our community is at an interesting inflection point, and leadership matters. And God forbid another event anywhere near the magnitude of the pandemic were to occur, I would think as a citizenry, we would value the quality of character and leadership abilities over politics, ideology, social capabilities, and whatnot. And I would hope we've voted people into these leadership positions based on their merit as a leader. Now, ultimately, it's still government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And choosing our representatives locally, at the state level, and nationally is of the utmost importance when it comes to the freedom, liberty, and prosperity that we know and enjoy. But if you're still watching this, I'm sure I'm, as they say, preaching to the choir. So thank you for taking it seriously and bringing your best self to the process. I hope these interviews are of value to you. So please enjoy and please offer any helpful feedback on our Facebook page at Unleashed Tiger that you think might help make these better in the future. Ultimately, early voting starts on May 1st and election day is May 14th. And again, I want to thank you for being an informed voter. And I really hope these videos are of some value to you. Thanks.